Today's book is Mastering MicroDosing. How to use subperceptual psychedelics to heal trauma, improve performance, and transform your life. It sounds sort of like a self-help book. It is kind of like a self-help book. It's a good little book. Sometimes I felt it did run on a little bit too much. Had some filler in it, where it would really be best as a booklet. But anyway, and the final part is how to become a leader. That was not relevant to me. I'm not going to become a leader at this point, so didn't read the leader part, but you might want to become a leader. Good luck to you finding the proper quality of followers is one of the problems. I might want to lead, but who is there to follow? It's a troublesome proposition. At any rate, it talks about taking a small amount, subperceptual amount of a psychedelic, mainly LSD and psilocybin, for every couple of days. And subperceptual means you don't feel, you don't start tripping, you don't feel the effects of the drug or mushroom. But what goes on is it actually does change one and help one, and does make you, well, it's like it makes you smarter, it's like it makes you quicker, it reduces depression, it helps people connect with one another. He uses, he talks a good deal about having like social anxiety, and how he used microdosing to get rid of that, become more open to family and people in general. So that's all good. He also talks about I heard him on the Team Human show with Douglas Rushkoff. I might leave the how to get to that program, Team Human, with Douglas Rushkoff. So yeah, he was interviewed on that, so I thought, I'll get the book. So yeah, I ordered it from the Strand bookstore in New York here. I didn't get it from Amazon. I got it sort of from a local store, a big local store, but a local store nonetheless. So back to the book. He also talks about all these other things that can be taken, and there's a chapter about how you acquire things, how to sourcing psychedelics, and in that chapter he does list a whole lot of different things that are basically still legal. Substances that you can get, I guess, on the interwebs somehow. Anyway, I don't know anything about that, but he does list all these other things that can be taken instead of mushrooms or LSD, if the person is not connected to have those. And to be connected, he suggests to people to be sociable basically, join the local psychedelic society, as if there is such a thing like that, but just make friends and find out what people are into, because there are enough people into such things that he goes through the history of microdosing, Yeah, and what's the guy's name? Fetterman, another researcher who really came up with the idea of doing this, and everybody else has been kind of working off their work, the notion of microdosing instead of macrodosing for full effect. I mean, he talks about macrodosing. Yeah, Fadiman, Fadiman. Yeah, so that guy was apparently an earlier explorer into the microdosing concept. Oh, and he also says that that Albert Hoffman also did some microdosing toward the end of his life, and he also said, and he lived to be 102. So there you go. It adds to longevity. One can live and microdose and be all sharp and energetic until 102. So anyway, yeah, it's a good book. You know, it does say how much of these things that one might want to take, provided one can actually measure them. And the microdosing protocol would just be for like 3 months, and then stop, or 9 months, and then stop, and don't do anything for a while, and let yourself reset and everything, and see where you are after that. So yeah, it goes into all these things that are beneficial, and it's a very pro psychedelic and pro microdosing little book by Paul F. Austin, Mastering MicroDosing. So let me know what your adventures of microdosing have been like. Oh, he does talk about he started an organization called the Third Wave, because he feels like he's part of the third wave of psychedelics. The first one being the ancient and the indigenous, when people just did them back when. The second wave was 50, 60 years ago, when I was a lad and impressionable. So I'm kind of more in the mindset, due to my age proximity, with the second wave. And then recently, this third wave, where psychedelics have been more once again recognized as something that can be actually helpful for people and useful, and starting to be studied again, and starting to have laws actually loosened up in some states, where you can buy mushrooms, for instance. So it's a plant. After it's a living. It's not a plant. It's a fungus, but it's a living thing that grows out of the ground. Plants and other living things that grow. That's sort of fair game. That's what we should be allowed to consume in the beautiful Eden of which we live here. So I think that's the idea with this, and mastering microdosing.